love. And she was like, I like that song. I was like, well,
that's the joke.
You about to do an interview with him.
Tell her, come on in.
Where's she at? Is she coming?
Where's she at?
So she upstairs.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on, hurry up. We about to record.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. What's your name?
She said, okay.
What's your name?
Alea.
Say it loud.
Alea.
Alea. That's very beautiful. I like your name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Shaq girl, you can leave now.
Nice to meet you. Oh, she's beautiful, man.
Thank you. Yeah, she was all excited. She was like, "Oh, I like that song." I was like, "All right, cool."
That's what's up.
Right,
That's what's up. If the kids like it, I'm winning.
You good, right?
I'm actually winning out here. All right.
You are listening to the Soul Curators podcast, where we get into the funk and soul of things. It's all about good conversations about music. So come join us.
One, two, we are back. Welcome back to the Soul Curators podcast. This 2024 has been slamming and we have been hitting y'all over the head. We got another one. We're going to hit y'all over the head with something so amazing. First, let me introduce myself. I am the janitor of this experience. I go by the name of MistaGoodbar, representing Houston, Texas, and representing the Remedy. I got the matriarch of this whole thing, my sister, my Rattler sister, ChristinaCurates in the building. What's up, ma'am?
Hello, I am ChristinaCurates. I live in Atlanta, but I am from Jacksonville, Florida. What's up, guys?
Absolutely.
We got my brother Soops Kitchen. What's good, boss?
Yo, what's going on? I'm from Cleveland. I'm the odd man out. Like, I'm in the place that nobody come to. So, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And then, of course, we are joined by our producer extraordinaire, the one and only Mr. Al Pete of the MPN Network. What's up, Mr. Al Pete?
Yeah.
What's happening, man? What's happening? Greetings.
I appreciate
greetings.
you. I appreciate you joining us on the camera today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, indeed.
Before we get the show started, we have a very, very special guest. But before we get the show started, we want to send some love to friend of the show, Cy Smith, who we love.
Yes.
She just reached out and posted a very personal message. It's not our business to share. She's already shared. If you want to know what's going on, of course, go to Cyberspace on Instagram and check out her message. But we love her dearly, collectively and individually. We thank her. She's a friend of the show. So we're going to send positive energy, love, healing, care. If you love Cy Smith, send her a message of love and just show her you care. And most importantly, stream her project. Go stream her music, purchase her merch. All right. We love you, Cy.
Indeed.
All right.
Love you.
So, I've been waiting to do the Apollo Theater Steve Harvey shit on this one. I can't wait. We are joined by, when you think of like R&B and neo soul, how it comes into phases, you know what I'm saying? We are joined by one of the patriarchs of the second phase of neo soul. He is one of the most recognizable voices in the world. I have never heard anybody say a bad thing about him vocally, personally, whatever. Everybody loves this brother, including us. A man of mystery to a degree. We're going to get into that. But he is such an incredible singer, incredible performer, and incredible talent. And we are beyond honored to have him on the Soul Curators podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to make some noise. Darien Brockington is with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And ain't nobody else got it. We got
Listen.
Right.
You can't wait till the end of the show for this one.
Y'all actually got me
D.Brock,
first.
how are you, boss? How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm blessed, brother. Like I'm just this putting this out right now, man, and just the outpour of love. Like I'm still on the cloud, brother. It's unbelievable. That's all I got. It's unbelievable. I'm trying to find the words for it, man. But, just being gone for 14 years and living a lot of life and, learning, growing. And you know, walking away and coming back to it, the first thought I had was, you know, who's going to remember me, and will this be received, you know, be received well. So I think, you know, I was really feeling it in the process, definitely feeling it when I made the announcement, but to make the announcement and just to see the love, and then for the project to come out and just get even more love, has just been really reaffirming, you know what I mean, and reassuring that I'm where I'm supposed to be. So
yes,
yeah,
sir. True.
I'm feeling great.
Mr. Alpete, I'm gonna turn it over to you right quick, boss. I know you got something you want to probe.
First off, D.Brock, we go back way back. Way back. And I believe it was your first performance, right? With the one we did together, right? Was it your first performance?
Yes. In Durham, right?
Yes.
Yes,
like,
at the
it was like an Elks Lounge or something like that.
No, it was the Hayti Heritage Center, I believe, is what it was.
Yeah.
That would, well, not my first, but in terms of me as an artist, I would say yes, my first.
Okay. So I think about that often, man. And of course, you know, I think about that moment because I think that might have been like my first out of town performance. So that was another type of experience. But thinking about where you was at that moment versus now.
Man.
Like how the evolution of that. Can you sum that up a little bit and tell us how that feels?
Yeah, man. Two completely different creatures. You know, like seriously, y'all. Like I think it's funny that you talk about that because when I did that, I was really just starting to, you know, find it, I guess, right? And if anybody knows anything about me, I always say I have no idea why God would give me this gift because I'm probably like one of the most nervous people ever. I remember doing that performance and it was like hardly it wasn't a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But I was shook. Like I was nervous. I think I threw up. Like that's so
wow. Listen, D.Brock, I was gonna leave that out. I was gonna definitely leave it out. But I remember that moment. I was like, I remember that whole experience that you threw up and all that. And I
was
what year was this, guys? What year was this?
Yeah, Ali. It's okay. Listen, like we put it out there. Like, listen. Yeah. So it is what it is. Oh, when was this? Oh God. I was in my 20s. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Might have been 03, 04-ish, that type of thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, either 02, 03. Yeah, it was a long time ago. And you know, I say that to say, you know, to look at that person was a person that loved what he did and what I do. You know what I mean? But to walk in a space to be gifted with so much and not know who you are and not comfortable with the gift that's been given you is a tough space to be in. You know what I mean? And then to fast forward time and to look at myself now, to know who I am as a man of God, as a Black man, you know, being comfortable in my gifting, being comfortable in my skin, whatever comes with that, you know what I'm saying? It just resonates different. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is something that now I can really appreciate and really enjoy, you know what I mean? Like, you know, really tell my stories differently as a grown man, you know what I mean? I was a boy telling those stories, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm a grown man, you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to just be able to go through different phases in life and get here and be like, you know, not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like hiccups and all, not bad at all. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is like a full circle moment for me. You know, looking at revisiting some of the very same things, right? And I'm not even gonna lie, in this process, there's some things that I've had to revisit and deal with, but you know, having the tools and the capacity to be able to do it, you know what I mean? Like to really be able to talk to myself or even having a community around me to be like, okay, you're tripping. You know what I mean? So let's bring that down a notch. You know what I mean? Let's stay focused on the point. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like that is different for me in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's just night and day. It's just night and day. You know what I mean? And I'm just getting started back at it. So we'll see what the months, the years, you know, whatever God allows me to do, you know what I mean, to come. But I can say that coming back to it is definitely, it feels like I'm walking in purpose more than I ever probably thought I was the first go around. It felt like the first time it just kind of happened. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I just liked to sing, and I knew that I could sing, and I knew I had something, but I was never the guy that wanted to like do this. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like,
right.
No, it makes sense. Real quick, and then I'll pass the mic. But I know for me personally, brother, seeing you, like listening to you and the music that you was making then, and then just to see you in that moment where you were like extremely nervous and all the things, I was sent back like, I like this man crazy. I was one of them people. I'm like, come on, man. Like you got it. Like you really, really got it. And I'm trying to figure it out. So just seeing the evolution of you now, man, it's just very remarkable. And it's inspiration to me and whatnot. So thank you so much for giving your gift to the people, for being one of the flagships of Neo Soul.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Sure.
So that's leading into my question is just your start of the Foreign Exchange, the Little Brother, the Justice League. How did that Justice, like you being in the Justice League, like how did that come about? I mean, your voice is on classic songs. You are on damn near everybody's project. So like, how did it come about? I mean, from Sean Don, Little Brother, Sean Bull, everybody.
So like, okay, so I have to back up a little bit, right? We all went to school together. I didn't know all of them. And honestly, I really did not know that I had already started crossing paths with Sean Don, Fonte, and Pooh. I didn't know that. We were in class together. And so I remember sitting on one side of the classroom and they were on the other side. You know what I mean? And I think this is right around the time that I think I dropped out the first time. Yeah. And so, and so like, I knew of them, you know what I mean? But I didn't really know them. You know what I mean? It was like we all kind of were, you know, layered on top of each other. You know what I mean? It's like six degrees of separation. Somebody knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody. And so, of course, in college, you know, I did a lot of singing. You know what I mean? I was in the music department, you know, so of course we did a lot of singing. I just did talent shows. I did all the things, right? And so fast forwarding time, probably I guess the year that Sleepers came out and Foreign Exchange's first project. At that time I was working at the bank, and Pooh remembered me because of school and because of me singing all the time. And I remembered his face, but like I said, I just didn't know him well. And he was like, "Hey man, you know, how you been?" I'm like, "I'm good, brother. How you doing?" You know, doing the whole thing at the bank, right? And he was like, "Yo, you still singing, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I'm doing, you know, I'm trying to do a little something. And he was like, "All right, bet. I'm working on a project. You know, we should link up. I'm gonna try to put you on something." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I went over to his spot, you know what I mean? And, you know, he'd already, you know, he sent me the song. Or no, I went over there and I think he gave me the song. And this wasn't when you could email anything. So I think it was a CD and he had to step away. So I was sitting in the car and I was just, you know, doing my thing. And then he was like, "All right, what you got, D?" And I was like, "All right, here you go." And he was like, "Word, back." You know what I mean? So I recorded it. And, you know, in that moment, that was that. Didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? At this point, I really don't know that Fonte and Pooh are little brother. Like, I don't know any of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have already done their first project and I don't know anything. I know nothing, right? So he let Tay hear what I did. And then I got a call from Tay. And Tay was like, "Listen, I'm working on my own project too. Would love to have you on it. You know, let me know what you think." And I was like, "Bet, no problem." So I think I had also gone over to his spot and he handed me the song and he had to go. I think he had to pick up his son, or I think that's what it was. And so I was just there and I was creating and I was writing. He came back and I let him hear what I got, and he, he started adding stuff to it, and that would become what we would know as Come Around. So,
best song ever.
Yeah, that would be Come Around, and so of course on Sleepers it was On My Mind with Pooh, but with Tay it was Come Around, and so I think that was the first time that I had written something that I knew I had found me in the song. You know what I mean? Like I'd been trying to chase all the vibes, because then it was kind of like, yo, if you ain't doing soul music, neo soul, you're not legitimate, right? But I'm an R&B kid through and through, like straight up. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to copy Bilal, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to D'Angelo, you know what I mean? I'm in the crates with the old school, even though I was already listening to them as a kid, but like I'm really trying to get into that vibe, right? You know what I mean? Trying to create that. So, but when I did that, I knew, I was like, this is who I am, right? And so still not really knowing who they are, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of went back to life. I was excited about the song, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was like, yo, this song is fine. I'm listen to my friends here, and they're like, yeah, that's cool, and I'm like, maybe it's not good.
Always be your own people.
Yeah, it be your own people. So I kind of let it go, and I moved on. And if anybody knows anything about Phonte locks down on everything. You know what I mean? Like you will never know. You can be on his project and won't know what the project sounds like until the project comes out. That's just how it was then. You know what I mean? And so it comes out and it's like, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't get it. Now, Al knows Monty. Monty was my manager at the time. You know what I mean? And
Monty, shouts out to Monty.
And so he was like, okay, we got to figure out what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? To try to get you to the next place, because he really believed in me, and he was like, okay, so like what things you got going on now? And I was like, well, I'm working with Little Brother. And, I'm working with Phonte on this other group, the Foreign Exchange. He said, whoa, wait. Who did you just say? I said, Little Brother. And he said, nigga. And I was like, what? You know what I mean? He was like, do you know what you just said? And I'm like, no, I don't know what I just said. You're like, Phonte and Thomas? You know what I'm saying? Like, said Thomas. What do you want from me right now? He's like, okay, I'm gonna need to break this down for you and help you understand what you are a part of. And I was like, okay. And he broke that thing down, right? And so to speed this up, because I'm not trying to be like the long storyteller. I don't want y'all talking about me. When I get off here, like, oh Jesus, that.
Nah. This one, we want all of it.
All right, so then, of course, Sleepers comes out, right? Well, actually, Connected came out before Sleepers, so that comes out, and the next thing I know, everything is just happening really fast. Like, I think not too long after that, the first thing that we did, I think it was called the Knitting Factory in New York. And it was like a big deal, of course, then. Of course, it was a very big deal. I can't even remember the host of artists that was there at the time. But I remember, after we went out there and they was like, I'm trying to tell you, bro, when you sing the song, niggas gonna go nuts. It's okay if I use niggas, right?
Niggas went nuts.
All right. Because I'm talking about them, right? So, and there's a lot of niggas popped around, right? So, all right. So, I just want to make sure, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, we did that. Pete, Mr. Al, Pete, got you. That would be my last time that I would upchuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once again, I was terrified because it was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So, and I did that, and that's when I knew my life would be different forever. Because I sang that song, and the amount of yes, sir.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to ask. Well, continue because I wanted to ask a question. Continue. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What you got for me?
Ask the question.
Now go ahead, Soops.
As I'm sitting here listening to you talking about upchucking, and this was the very first time you was on the stage with a whole lot of people. What was going through your mind at Made in Durham when you saw all those people? Like you saw that was different. That felt like home. Okay.
That felt like something that I would grow to love to do. And you know, that was probably one of the funnest things that I would love in this whole process. There's two parts to this process as an artist. That was creating, that was the first thing and will always be the first thing, and then the performing. You know what I mean? Because you get to connect and get to see people in real time engage with something that is very, intimate and precious to you. So I loved that. You know what I mean? I would actually learn to love that. But
that's what's up.
At that time, I did not love that. So not at all. I was a serial upchucker, just for the record. In my church career coming up, singing at churches and big concerts. Oh, brother, let me tell you something. That was my thing.
Wow.
Like it was like if I do that, I'll be okay because I just don't want to do it on the stage. Brother, I'm telling you, the scariest. I'm probably I used to be like one of the scariest people you have ever met in life. You know what I'm saying? Like that was not my thing, right? So anyway, going back to that, I'd never encountered that much love. That would have been my first time, yes, to encounter that much love from an audience of people that did not really know me or anything about me. But the place where we connected was the music. You know what I'm saying? And I would dare say, like the roar, the standing ovation lasted a good 5 minutes. Like it was just that nuts, and
crazy.
I couldn't even process that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What is this?" Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember calling my mom after that, and I told her how grateful I was, and how overwhelming that was to me. You know what I mean? Because I just never thought in a million years that I would see myself in this seat. You know what I mean? And so it would just escalate from there. It just went fast. You know what I mean? Like right after that, we go on tour. The Foreign Exchange goes on tour first. So now I'm going across seas. Touring with the Foreign Exchange. We did a couple of things in the States, and then it became a formula. You know what I mean? It was like they found a formula that worked. Brock sings the hooks. You know what I mean? We do the dope rhymes. You know what I mean? And that's just how it went.
So I have I was a little late to the game. You did a song with For Hero and Fonte, Give In.
Yes.
And I fell in love with that song. I've played that song so many times. Can you tell us how that connection happened?
Yeah, so that was a connection with Tay. We were on tour, as a matter of fact. We were in California. I can't remember which tour that was. And, they wanted to do a song with me and Tay. And so while we had a couple of days there, we were called in to write and record. I probably had 2% voice at that point because we had been on tour for a minute. I was tired, but I was, excited. Okay, here's another fun fact, sidebar. I was always late to the game. You know what I mean? So when I say I am a very true R&B person. I am a true R&B person. So the people that I would end up working with I would not know who they were really for real until after I worked with them. Yes, because I'm a church boy, number one, and then number two, not that my mom was like, you can't listen to this, you can't listen to that, but you already understood,
Absolutely.
You grew up in the church home, you already knew what it was. But her love for R&B allowed me to listen to the R&B I wanted to listen to, but that's as far as it was going to go. Right. So there was just a lot of things that I missed along the way, you know what I mean? To just know like who was who. I just didn't really know that, to be quite honest with you. And so I didn't understand how big that moment was until the moment happened.
Right.
And it was like, it was the same thing. And so I was talking to Monty. I was like, yeah, we about to head over and work on the joint with For Hero. He was like, dog, what? Like, I always do this to him. I will always do that to him where he's just like, bro, you killing me. You know what I mean? He was like, word up, and so, we went over there. I was tired and I was like, I'm gonna give this the best I got. I didn't really know what I was walking into, but Tay and I, we wrote it together. I think he wrote most of it though, but we wrote on it, and then I laid it down at their house. And then that was that. And we got back on that. We went back to that bus, or that hotel rather, and we kept pushing. And that's just how it was. It was in and out. Like it just.
You saying that you were tired on that song is really fucking me up, because I can hear it in my head now. And that is one of the most amazing melodies and sound. That's one of my favorite performances by you.
Thank you, man.
It matched the tone of the song itself. I'm a fan out in a minute. We got to do this interview right, but I'm a fan out in a minute. Because I'm going to keep it a bean. Like, fuck all this professional shit. Nigga, you got so many classics.
Thank you, brother.
You don't even know. Like, I can run down. So, like, all my days with Yazarat, dog, I will flip a fucking table. I love that song so much. But, okay, let me focus.
Let me focus.
Look,
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Well, Darien. To an earlier point that you made, to answer a question, we were discussing how you were coming back with the new project, Where Love Grows, which we got to talk about. But you also mentioned that from your hiatus, which we'll also get into, you mentioned that you were interested how you would be received and if people will remember you. And so, being the fans that we are, we know that like projects like The Feeling that came out in 2005 and Somebody to Love that came out in 2006, that you guys re-released them and mastered them like in 2020 for The Feeling and just this year for Somebody to Love, which I thank you for. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was that kind of the plan? Like, okay, we're gonna remind everybody, and then we're gonna drop this fire right quick afterwards. Is that what? Or was that just something? Or how did that work?
It just kind of those were just So I was kind of leaning towards doing another project, and I was trying to figure it out, but it wasn't quite coming together. But in the meantime, it was just like, okay, let's just clean up house. We got a lot of music out here that we need to bring back home. Let's go ahead and start remastering stuff. Like, that was pretty much the conversation. They were totally two separate things happening at the same time, and I know we said we'll talk about, this new project, but while that was doing whatever it was doing, this was just kind of happening, you know what I mean? And it was funny that, that you asked that, because the question that I had was, will this be received? You know what I mean? And I kind of knew after they said we were remastering Somebody to Love, that calmed me down. You know what I mean? Because it was like the way that people responded. We were all shook. All of us were shook. Like, whoa, wait a minute. We got something, y'all. Like, hold on. You know what I mean? So, I think that kind of became even more the motivation to finish this project, because we knew that people were actually checking. Like, who knew? Nobody knew. So, to be quite honest.
So before that, you didn't know what you had? Like, you didn't know you had some hot shit? Like,
nope. No,
That's crazy.
no, I did not.
Crazy.
Like when I tell
you don't know how much that music, how many dates I done went on because of that album.
Brother, when I tell you, like, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I'm not trying to make this like a whole deep conversation, but what I do want to say is, like I said earlier, when you don't understand who you are as a person and you do not understand your purpose, you will never understand your impact. You know what I mean? And so there were a lot of things that needed to be worked out during that time, that space and time that had not been worked out. You know what I mean? Like I did not I wasn't doing the work. I didn't, clear the demons. I didn't do any of that stuff. So it was happening, but life was happening at the same time. And my life, you know what I'm saying? And the things that came with the music as well was so much louder than the point. You know what I'm saying? And so, it didn't really hit me, maybe until a few years after I walked away, like, wait a minute. I really said one day, like, listen to your music. Just listen to your music. And I just started listening and I was like, well, dang, I wasn't half bad.
You think?
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? And the thought was, well, that was then, this is now. You know what I mean? So we just going to move on. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much, to answer your question, brother, I genuinely didn't know. I didn't know. And even now, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, even being sure of me, I wasn't sure about it. You know what I mean? So, my people around me like, bro, I promise you, when you come back, I promise you. And I'm like, yeah, all right, we'll see.
But you had to do it on your time. It had to be on your time. When you, like you said, you had to get to know you and who you were before you could do what we love you to do. Right.
And shout out to your crew. Shout out to your crew, the people that's telling you that everything will be fine. That's very important in a journey for sure.
Yeah,
and keeping definitely them keeping it real with you is
absolutely
that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah, and it's important to have a tribe that has another set of eyes. They can see things you can't see. They can hear things you can't hear. And knowing that you trust them and they know you trust them, they're not going to give you no false stuff. They're going to tell you the real so you can make the decision as yourself. So I believe in God's timing, and you came out at the perfect time when it was perfect for you and it was perfect to be received. So again, I'm super excited about the whole thing.
Thank you. Yes, man. That's real. Like I was thinking about, over the years, just listening to like, Yazara would come up to me, we talk, and she'd be like, in her soft spoken voice, D, the world is waiting for you. I promise you, everywhere I go, I promise no matter where I go, they're saying, where's Darien? And I'm like, and I tell them he'll be back one day. I'm telling you, you really need to consider coming back because this is where you're supposed to be. And I'll be like, all right, okay, all right. It's like, okay, I hear you, but I've literally, like, my community over the years has literally been like, this is where you belong. This is where you belong. And even my new community has been like, I knew who you were as an artist before I knew who you were as a person. You know what I'm saying? So I have the privilege of being your friend and your fan. And, just to be able to be told, like, you have no idea what your music, did for me, coming up, when I was going through my life stuff, you know what I mean? Your music resonated with my life, even if it was just the backdrop to get my mind off of what I was going through. You know what I mean? Your music mattered. You know what I mean? And so, I've been told that, like, by my own community, like, I really need you to understand who you are. So, like, that's been very, 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 very critical to this whole thing. I probably would not have jumped when I did to this had I not had my community in my ear, to be honest with you.
So with this album, Where the Love Grows, being able to get back into this creative space, what was the biggest difference with creating this album from your last ones?
The only real big difference for me was that usually when I create something, I have a theme in place. Like I already know what I want to talk about. This was something that started 2 years ago. It got a little derailed.
You said life was lifing.
Life was lifing. And I, there were things in the process initially that just wasn't going right. So, it took 2 years for me to be able to make a decision how I wanted to do it. I had to clean house. I had to, say, yeah, this isn't going to work with us. You know what I mean? And, and I had to think it through. I was like, okay, what do I need to do to get to this finish line? You know what I mean? And, the thought was reach out to your people. You know what I mean? Like call Zoe and let him know what you're trying to do. Call Nick, let him know what you're trying to do. And, let's get this thing done. And that's exactly what I did. So I reached out to Zoe probably at the top of the year. And I said, hey, man, I want to do like a series of small projects. You know what I mean? Starting off with my family. I want to do one with you first. I want to do one with Nick next. And then, I want to branch out, but I want to bring it home to the family. And he said, all right, say words, say less, let's go. You know what I mean? And so, yes, sir. Go ahead, man. Jump in.
We get a big project.
Huh?
So we getting a you and Nicolay project next.
Yeah, that's next.
You see me over here.
You see how I just dropped that in there? Like we just was going to skip over that. Like
yeah.
Not the crowd.
Yes.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So we were, it was just like this is intentional. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want anything to be too big because in my mind, to be honest with you, I didn't know how it was going to be received. You know what I mean? It was just like to do a full length and then it just flopped flat on his face. Like, I don't want to, let's test the waters. This is really what this was. This was, let's test the waters. You know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just go ahead and do a small project, a few songs, and we'll just see what happens. The intent was just to drop like 4 songs and keep it pushing. Like that's all it was supposed to be. Then Tay heard, he heard Show You, on the project. And he was like, yo, this song, man, is, and I'm like, all right, bet. And so it just kind of put some energy behind it. And 3 songs turned into 4 songs turned into 5 songs turned into, and was like, okay, this is starting to turn into a project. You know what I mean? Yep. So, there was really no rhyme nor reason behind it. But what was beautiful about it is that it all just kind of came together on its own. The music did it on its own. You know what I mean? And
Christina, before you ask him, Al Pete, this is gonna be a footnote for you. Okay, this is gonna be a drop. We're gonna use this later. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
You have just experienced a Soul Curators exclusive drop, and you heard it here first with the Soul Curators podcast. For this and other exclusives, please remember to subscribe to the Soul Curators podcast, powered by the MPN Network.
All right. So I kind of have
real quick, D.Brock. We talked about we were inundated with you for the last week or so, right?
That's what's up.
We were talking about you and what we would project for you, just in our personal conversation. And I don't know which one of us said it, but somebody in the mix of us said it. We were like, I wonder if he's going to is this going to be like a series, and is he going to do parts with certain people and then extend this out to other people? When you said that, that was prophecy fulfilled, because we said that the other day. We literally said that the other day. So that's why I was tripping when you said it. Like, yo, we was spot on. Okay, I'm sorry, Christina.
Yeah. No, you're good. So that's exactly right. So
I'm gonna give my favorites off the album. Only One and Better Days remix. I put that on my personal mixes that I do.
Nice.
So we did an interview with Misha not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he was so sweet. He was basically like, he didn't kind of tell us, but he kind of did, but he didn't give any of your secrets because he was like, it is on his project. So I don't want to, give anything, but I was so excited to see that he produced Circles. That's another favorite of mine.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Did that connection happen with Be My Fiasco, or did you know Misha before? Or
I did not know him before. So
okay.
my ace, my brother, my other half in terms of the writes with me now. So he is into music, like seriously into music. And so he put me on, you know what I mean? Like on Tamisha. And I was like, all right, bet I rocks with this. And then of course, with time, I saw him do something with Be Mine, and I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And I knew I needed one more song. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna try to shoot my shot and see what happens, And so I was like, I don't know. And my brother was like, bruh, do you know who you are, man? Just DM him. And I'm like, but what if he says no? So,
hey, y'all the same people.
He said the same thing about you.
Misha in his head, he thinking he like, I can't reach out to nobody, and if I'm gonna shoot my shot, you thinking the same way he thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So I'm like, all right. I remember I was in the car and I was like, all right, man, here goes nothing. And I was like, hey, bro, I'm a fan, because I'm a fan of his music. Like, he's really dope, right?
Yeah,
and I was like,
dope.
and I put my phone down. I was like all nervous. Like, I was like, all right, we're just gonna see what happens. Probably like maybe an hour or so, he hit me back, and I was like, yo, Misha just hit me up, man. So I'm geeked. I'm like, all right, bet, because I'm like, I need one more song. And I was like, I know he can give me what I want. You know what I mean? And so, so we chatted it up, in DM, and I was like, yo, I would love to have you on the project. And he was like, say less, man. Let's work. I would love to work with you. And I was like, great. You know what I mean? So I'm like all excited. And, he sent me like a whole bunch of beats, and they were dope, that I was like, they don't fit the project. And so I went to his page, and he was, he's always posting stuff that he does. And I was like, and it was one of the songs he had posted. I was like, I need something like this right here. And so I was like, this is what I need. If you have it, can you send it? Send? Yep. And then I sat back and I said, oh, this is the one. You know what I mean? And so, me and Davian Dwayne is his artist name, but Davian, we got the writing. And that was curtains. It was on from there. So, and then I sent it back to him, and he was like, oh man, we got something. And he's like, send me all the things so I can mix this thing down. And I was like, all right, bet. And I did that. I mean, we turned that thing around probably in like a week. It was real quick. It was really quick. So
that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Yeah. This story is great.
You got a joint with Misha, and you also got one of my favorite joints, Wonderlove, with cartoons.
Yeah.
How did the cartoons link up? How did that happen?
Now that's all Tay. That's where Tay comes in. So, again, I'm always late to the party, and I don't really know who's who. You know what I mean? So, he was like, yeah, I got this cartoons joint. And I'm like, okay. Sorry, cartoons. Please don't hate me. And so I did go to my brother, and I'm like, yo, who's cartoons? I think this person might be important. He was like, cartoons? You don't know? Okay, let me explain to you who cartoons is. And I'm like, oh. And now I'm like,
it's cartoons and Keelan Ellis. They both on there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I just be in my own world, man. You know what I mean? So, it was just kind of like, so he was like, I can't come up with nothing. And I was like, all right, bet. Well, we'll get on it. So me and Davian started writing to that song first. And then Tay was like, yeah, run me that back. I got it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but guess what, y'all? Here's the gotcha. It worked out perfect because the song that we started to write on that record ended up being the song Circles.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
This is where the bombs was dropping, all that stuff.
So definitely not the same melody, obviously, but
this is like the third exclusive.
The lyrics that we started to create for that song, Wonder Love, ended up going on Circles. So it worked itself out.
We cannot tell you how much we've been marveling on the project. Myself personally.
Thank you.
And you deserve the applause, obviously. Myself personally, when you drop, we were anticipating you dropping. So I did a personal listening, just to bring myself back up to speed. So I spent the week, running back the other 3 joints and all of your exclusive and all of that and all your features. And the first thing I told the SQ3, I was like, yo, I feel like this album picked up right where Somebody to Love left off, feeling wise for me.
Yeah.
This is just for me because of where I was emotionally and spiritually when Somebody to Love dropped. This feel like it picked up from there for me, and it kind of connected the emotional connection I had with your earlier projects all together. And I think you did I could feel the growth, but it doesn't feel like a departure. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I really do. It really did. It made me feel safe to sit with this and like, okay, this is D.Brock for real. This is what I've been missing in my music. So I appreciate that. And then it's like you talk about from production to the features that you have. It's all the people that we collectively and individually support and push and love. So it just felt like home. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I hope that you feel that. If nobody says that to you, I hope we have a chance to say it so going forward. Because apparently we gotta also be part of your circle and tell you who you are.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Mr. Alpete, I'm gonna let you set it off, Mr. Alpete.
All right. The ecosystem of foreign exchange, like how can you explain that dynamic? Explain like obviously how good it feels to be a part of like a collective that supports each other. From what I see, I love how y'all promote each other. I love how y'all stand behind each other. I just love that. And from an artist and all that standpoint, I think that's like the perfect combination on top of having great music. So explain your experience in regards to being a part of that ecosystem.
Yeah, so I mean, then and now, that was probably the ecosystem that I most resonated with. You know what I mean? Like, if you've heard anything that I've been saying, even though I rock hard with the Justice League, you know what I mean, and those were my brothers. We were night and day, oil and water. Like we were nothing alike at all. So,
hey, the stories.
Niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we was young, so you know what I mean? Night and day, you know what I mean? And so, but to, run with, Tay, Zoe, Nick, like these, that was more my speed as a person, you know what I mean? On a more personal level. And so obviously, I got to be more creative with Effie, you know what I mean? So obviously that would create more of an investment of my person into that, you know what I mean? Not that I was not any less invested with Little Brother because those are my people, but it resonated more, with the foreign exchange. So that ecosystem then and now is very collaborative. You know what I mean? I think what I am now that I've returned, a lot has changed. Like they have a whole system now, so it's different from when I, was there the first time. But even still, it's one of those things where it's really what I can appreciate is not about the money. You know, nobody's trying to beat over the head, you know, like, well, if I give you this track, it's going to cost you. We do a lot of things on love, you know what I'm saying? And the money will come if it comes, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it's always really been, you know what I mean? Not unless, you know what I'm saying, there's money involved, then, you know, the one thing I can tell you, they're going to make sure, they're going to make sure you eat, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, when it comes to the family, family business, you know what I mean? And so, you know, it is a space where, you know, everybody gets to do them, you know what I mean? And then obviously, because decisions have to be made, money has to be spent, there's going to be input on what you're doing, you know, but ultimately you're allowed that space to just, you know, do you know what I mean? And I can appreciate that. So, you know, basically, you know, the family keeps growing. I think, you know, it is starting to, you know, become more label oriented, you know, for the new kids, but for the for the OGs, you know what I'm saying? You know, this is home, you know what I mean? It's a place for me to, you know, safely land the music, you know what I mean, and release it without having to worry about the things that I know I would have to worry about if I didn't have my own distribution or all of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it makes this part of it easier. You know what I mean? And I get to do it with dope people. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I know that if I have an idea, it's going to get articulated.
Right.
It's going to, you know what I'm saying? Whether I'm writing it or not, it's going to get articulated.
So your the performance, well, Zoe and Tall Black Guy was in, I think, Durham or Raleigh. And was that the first time?
It was Durham. It was Durham. Yep.
Okay. Was that the first time that you was on stage back with Fonte and Zoe? It was Zoe's show, not the festival.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I think every Effie fan, I probably had tears in my eyes when I watched it, but it was so amazing to see you guys on stage.
That's why I know your face. I was like, I've been sitting here this whole time.
Like, who is this person?
I know you. Well, I know you. I'm gonna figure it out in a minute.
They even put out Gene Jolly. When I saw Gene, I was like,
yeah. So that was the first time. That was really the first performance that I had, and I was really nervous. Now, I wasn't nervous like we talked about before, but I didn't do any of that. You know what I mean? But I was definitely shook, you know, because it had a lot behind it. You know what I mean? I knew that I was revisiting spaces, you know, that I didn't know I was going to revisit. You know what I mean? And, you know, just being with my peers, you know, just that feeling of being missing for a long time. Once again, I didn't know what it was going to look like. And it was like, and Darien Brockington, yay, woo, he's singing today, you know. But, you know, when it was kind of like, he's here, you know, it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy because I hear you and you're talking about your story, and we hear Andre 3000 talk about how he feels about being accepted into the music again. And it's crazy. I mean, it's like we as consumers have no idea, you know, your journeys and how, you know, you may feel like, I wonder how people will accept my music. But I appreciate you telling us this because, like we say, we have no idea that you guys are feeling this way, but then at the same time, we're thinking like, we love your voice and your music so much till it's just crazy. I have one more question though. So if you had to introduce your music to someone that had never heard you before, what would be the first song that you would say? Or here's Darien Brockington.
Wow.
What would be a song or two?
So, can I have like more than one?
Sure, Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
All I'm gonna say is, if it ain't come around, then it ain't.
Yeah. That goes without saying, right? Like that it goes without. It's like we just gonna sit that up there. That is the absolute number one, because it means so many things for me personally. You know what I mean? But it also means the beginning of everything that would come, after it. So that's just absolutely number one, right?
That's facts.
I want to say that the song that resonates with me on the feeling is "This Is Our Life."
Oh,
okay.
That's one of the ones that I would play. It is a very personal song. When you be going through stuff,
Yeah, right. Listen, man.
And relationships are real, So
yes, indeed.
I think that was the first time that outside of Come Around, but that was one of the first times in terms of going through something in real time. And being able to write about it that way. You know what I mean? And to feel it when I'm writing it, feeling it when I'm singing it. You know what I mean? Like that would be one that I would play, because you're hearing me. That is me. You know what I mean? Like that is really me. You know what I mean? So let's see. Let's move forward. If I were to do Somebody to Love, it would be I Miss You.
Okay.
I love this song. Listen, so when I talk, I can't see everybody, but I can hear it. I got tickled. I heard
I wish I would have had it on.
I can see you.
I wish I had it on here, but I had it on you. But I heard a sound and I'm like, what is that sound? And all I know is I see hands like this.
I knew it was good, boy. You said that yesterday.
Yeah. Bro, listen. He hitting every single one.
So that was like my that was my baby. You know what I mean? Like that was the song where it just clicked. You know what I mean? Like it was, I'm like, I'm in my bag on this one. I don't know. Was there something about that song in particular? That was probably like my one. And then I'm going to skip Cold Case Files just because that is a story in itself. So we're just going to sit that one over here. Okay. But for this particular project, my top two for this one is Only One and Circle. Those are my top two.
Yeah, that was my two.
Yeah, so Circles for me is my testimony. That literally is telling my story of the last 14 years, my life as a whole, you know what I mean? And so that's a personal song. Only One, I knew we had something when we got to that chorus. I said, oh snap. I said, we got a song, y'all. We got a song. And so me and my writing partner, Davian, we were like, bro, this the one. This the one. This the one. We was excited. And Tatum like, no, it's Wonder Love. I'm like, no, it's Only One. It's Only One. Now I knew Wonder Love was gonna win, like, because it's just a dope song. You know what I'm saying? It's flat out. You know what I'm saying? And and the team is on it, so I know it was gonna win. But I was like, bro, I promise you, it's Only One. Only One is the one. So
it is.
Those are like my jams throughout the year. So
as you can probably see, we're probably putting you to work at the end of this interview. So we do have one more. We have one more thing we'd like to get your opinion on. So here's the scenario.
Okay.
Let's say the Soul Curators, we have a 3-day music festival. We have artists galore. We call you, we say, D.Brock, look, We want you to curate Saturday's festival. You got the main stage for the day. What artists are you booking for your show, for your set?
Wow.
It can include you. It can be other than you. However you want to do it.
Oh, this is wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna dip into this R&B bag.
You got half the team in foreign exchange.
Listen, I'm just gonna put them up there and call it a day. And there you have it, folks. The end.
It is.
So I think that's a win.
Yeah,
definitely a win.
I didn't have to work too hard on that one. I was like, wait a minute. Why?
All right, so now we got to put you to work. No foreign exchange.
All right.
Thank you, Soops. Hey, thank you, Soops. Because I was gonna suggest that, like, take foreign exchange out of it.
All right. So let's see. This is tough. Can we dig them up too? Like if they are long gone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm like, damn.
You can include niggas who don't sing no more.
Okay. Damn. Niggas.
So you got to give him some context with that because you talking.
I'm talking about dwelling. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he's killing me. Yeah, he don't sing no more. I was amongst the dead, so that's fine. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm not gonna drag my brother hard because I was right there with him. So listen. Let's see. I know that Carl Thomas up there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would have 112 up there. They would have to be up there. I'll probably have the young Jodeci up there. The young Jodeci. I am probably going to have Brandy. I'm going to have Faith. If he were still living, I would have Donnie Hathaway up.
Okay.
Stevie would definitely be up there.
Okay.
Marvin would definitely be up there. It's gonna be a long show, just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Stevie, Marvin. Who closing that out?
Oof.
Nigga, I think Jesus gonna close it out because I don't know. Maybe it'll just be like a big old jam fest. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just gonna come together and just sing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, so I have so many people though that I would probably have up there. Old school, new school. Definitely, it would be my primary artist would be like in the like 90s era, all the way up to 2000. Like that's probably my most influential time for R&B, besides the greats. So I was listening to what's the name of that group?
Old group, new group,
90s group. Somebody, Cisco's group. Somebody.
Drew
Hill. Thank you.
Yes.
Brain part. Yeah, Drew Hill. That like I went on them hard, like hard.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying.
Listen,
like
you keep singing like you are, they're gonna add you to the choir. You know, Drew Hill be adding niggas to their group.
It's a choir.
What is it? It's
the Drew Hill mass choir out there,
112.
Straight up. Listen. Like the United Voices of Drew Hill. Church of God in Christ. Like they rolling deep.
I have so many questions that we're not going to be able to get to. We're going to have to definitely have that. I wanted to talk to you about the state of R&B and your opinion about, the whole philosophy about it being dead. We know it's not dead. We as a collective know it's not dead, but we can't talk about that later. We'll save that for another time.
You sure? I can give you my short statement. I mean, this is a long statement, but it's a short statement.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
The short statement is I do not believe R&B is dead. What I do believe is that mainstream is not focusing on the art as the community that creates art, like as we know it. You know what I'm saying? The issue isn't the music. The issue is the industry. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and that's just that.
Right. Okay.
and so that's why we are here. That's all four of us have our own individual collectives, and then we also have the Soul Curators Collective. We all have all these outlets. I've put your music on the playlist. Actually, the newest playlist I just did, I got Wonder Love on there.
That's what's up.
ChristinaCurates, I think you got 2 songs on your playlist from the new album. So, you know, we try to create a space for real artists like yourself and others to feel like they have a place to go without the bullshit. Like, there's no politics involved. There's no, you know, you got to be this well-known person. Your music is good. We fuck with you. So
that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here for that.
That's what's up. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I take pride in being. Look, I'm gonna stick my chest out when I say this shit. I was the first person in the city of Houston to break the songs on Where Love Grows. I will continue.
That's what's
to do
up.
it
Thank you,
because
man. Thank you.
I terrestrial radio, as we all know, in the state that it's in, has a lot to be desired. I have been blessed with an opportunity to be the change I want to see. So,
awesome.
Like Soops so eloquently said, these platforms that we have collectively and individually are for artists like yourselves who are true to the purpose of this music, who are the antithesis of what the corporations are wanting. That's why it's more than just us desiring your music. You being out there and being present in that space is important, because when you leave it devoid of you, it makes space for more trash. Can't nobody take the place of what your quality is. So that's why you are so important and so highly favored with us. So again, I speak on behalf of all of us. We cannot thank you enough for spending time with us and being vulnerable with us and open with us and sharing with us and giving a space for you to talk about your project that you just dropped. We love it to death.
Appreciate
a lot of people love it.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, y'all. Like, for real, I just need to circle back. You just said a word. Wow. Like, the fact that our purpose is to make sure that it continues to thrive. The music continues to thrive, because if we're not present, that means anything else can come and surface, which is what's happening. You know what I mean? I needed to hear that. I just wanted to say thank you. I had to circle back to that, because I'm going to hold on to that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Please,
I'm definitely hold on to that.
For real.
Yeah, that's good.
So before we get out of here and stop taking up so much of your time, there's a thing that we do with the Soul Curators podcast. We are all graphic T-shirt heads. We love artist shirts. We love merch. We love all of that. So when D.Brock has merch, you know, we need to holler at you. But we definitely want to make sure that we point out some of the things that we rocking. I'm gonna start with Mr. Al Pete. What we got on the graphic today?
Oh man, why you put me on the spot like that?
Because you fly, bro. Because you fly, bro.
Can't hear you, brother.
He muted himself.
You muted yourself.
My bad. Here we go. Being a producer and all that. But this is the Jacksonville Sun shirt.
That's hard.
Now they're the Jumbo Shrimp. But before they were it's what is it? The minor league baseball team here in Jacksonville? Yeah. So this is a vintage Jacksonville Sun shirt. Got the sun on there. Hold on. Yeah.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, so just represent for the home team, Duval County. Wanted to throw the vintage on.
Shout out to Jayville. I got a special place in my heart for Jayville. You know that.
I be feeling so left out. Y'all from Florida. Y'all nice, and y'all got some
from Florida.
Christina, you looking so pretty in your lime green. I think that's lime. What is that?
Yeah, it's lime. So Just Good Music, of course, by Zoe. He actually is having a sale right now for 40% off all
40%
t-shirts.
off. Go get it.
I need to go get these.
I gotta go back.
Okay, Mr. Soup's Kitchen. Is it cold? It's cold up there? Is it cold? You got your hood. Oh, you hoodie period. You hoodie period. You hoodie in 100-degree weather. It's all good.
Listen. Now, when I go outside, I'm taking my hoodie off. But it's like 90 degrees outside, but it's like 60 degrees in the house.
Bruh, I feel you. I feel you. Listen, it feel like winter inside. I don't know how to dress when I'm going out.
I don't want to cut the heat. I don't want to be messing with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
I just put a hoodie on. This is my own hoodie. More music.
That's merch.
Let's talk.
That's it. I love it.
I see the model pose. Soup. I see the model pose.
You know how to model do. Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of model, I got the shirt that I got. We first saw Soups modeling this for this company. Is it Take 5 or Top 5?
Top 5. I think it's top five.
Soups was modeling this shirt on the web. He's actually on the website right now. So it's a shirt with my top 5. This is all of us. This is representing all of our brands: the Soul Curators, myself, the Remedy, Soup's Kitchen, of course, ChristinaCurates, of course, and of course the MPN Network. Just making sure we represent the whole team. You know what I'm saying? And got it up. Yeah. So that's what we do. D.Brock, do you have a T-shirt or do you want to? What you rocking?
I got the memo at the last minute, and so
my apologies, y'all. My apologies, y'all.
It's all
last minute.
But here's what you can do.
I put on a graphic tee. I mean, it sounds like listen,
it's all good.
I'll do something. So
right
here we go. All right, so I like this shirt though.
It is clean.
It's for the photo shoot.
That's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah. It's dope. It says "Dope Dreams." So on the backside, it says "Dope Dreams." It says the "Dope Dreams," the best escape, and it, like basically, like what did it say? So, hold on, it says mind-altering escape. That's what it says. It's the best thing. Yeah, so on the back, that's what it says, but on the front, it just says "Dope Dreams." But I love the shirt, you know what I mean? Because of, like, for me, it's like when you dream, things change. You know what I mean?
That's word.
You don't have a vision, you don't have anything. You know what I mean? So
hey, that trucker had tough too. Now that
I was about to say.
Oh yeah,
that shit tough. Hold on.
Yeah.
Do it again. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
Cash.
I love these. I have a whole bunch of them. I have a farm at this point. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your merch? I don't have any yet, but it's coming. So
okay, all right.
Stay tuned. That is being worked on.
Make sure you include 3X's for us tall, big guys.
Listen, I got you, because I'm not a small man no more.
None of us. Hey, that's so funny you say that, because when you dropped your first couple albums, I was skinny as hell.
Bruh, a toothpick. I'm about 5 of me now. So
when I saw you in Durham for the Made in Durham concert, we took a picture. I'm standing next to you. I'm thinking you gonna be like this short dude. Like I'm like looking at you like this, and I'm like, oh. I was expecting like.
Hey, no, I said Brock hit been hitting the gym. I said you about to swing on somebody, boy.
I've been hitting the plates. That's what I've been. And I need to cut it out. So
as long as you ain't eating that cookout.
Yeah. Brother, I just be eating the cookout, whatever I'm eating. It's time to cut it out. I'm not in my 20s anymore. You know what I'm saying? Where you could eat anything and your neck stayed this big. Your neck was this big, but now I'm like everything just big, brother. I'm like, okay.
Everything.
D.Brock, thank you so much for joining us. Can you please let our listeners know how they can stay connected with you, how they can purchase and stream the album, stay connected with everything you're doing, your social media, your website, anything you got to plug, please let my listeners know what we got.
Absolutely. So bear with me, y'all. We didn't realize that the movement was going to be so beautiful as it is. So for now, you can find me on all social media platforms to make it easy. I just use my name, Darien Brockington. That's Darien last name Brockington, Brockington. I know that's long. You can find me on all music platforms as well. I encourage you to support artists, support the music. It's beautiful to stream, but also please buy. So if you have iTunes Music, please go to iTunes Music. There are other platforms available as well that you can actually purchase the project. So Bandcamp as well. Yes. Yep. So I encourage you.
If you guys stream, I encourage everyone to stream on Tidal. The artist gets more money on Tidal than they get on any other platforms. So, that's just, I'm just trying to get that out there because I want more artists to get more of their money when it comes to streaming.
Yes. And, just support Black jobs and Black music. Amen.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right. Listen, D.Brock, this has been probably one of the most amazing episodes we've done. We've been looking forward to you. I know we've been driving you fucking crazy asking where the music was at and all of that, but you have answered that question 30-fold. Congratulations on the new project. Congratulations on everything you're doing, and we cannot wait to hear back from you. When it's time, as the series continues, you have a home here. So when it's time to get popping, it's nothing but hey, I'm ready, and we rolling out the red carpet.
All right, sounds good. I love it.
Can we schedule this now? Can we get the exclusive for the Nicolay project?
What's up? Talk to me. What you want to know?
Can we get the exclusive? No, I'm just saying, before the project drop, when it gets ready to drop, can we get the exclusive on the Nicolay project?
Yeah. Oh, easy. Yeah. Easy. Yeah. Hands down. Yeah, no, hands down. No, yes, easy. That's easy. That's easy.
It was great chopping it up with you again. Always a pleasure, brother. It was good to see you at Made in Durham.
Yeah.
It was so great to bump into you and all of that. Mr. Alpete, shout out to you, you know what I'm saying, for making things happen and moving and shaking like you do. ChristinaCurates, thank you so much for everything that you do. I really appreciate everything you do for this platform. Soops Kitchen, thank you for holding it down, for keeping us right, making us keep doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody listening.
And thank you.
Shouts out to you, Goodbar, please. Yeah.
I just sweep up here. I just sweep up here.
Amazing at what you do. We can't duplicate what you do. I tried the last one we interviewed.
You did an amazing job, sir. You did an amazing job.
And you are great at what you do. You use them big ass words that I can't use. So yeah.
Did this nigga just call me T.I.?
He's saying you're smart, nigga. You're smart.
I swear this nigga got a dictionary on something. Like, he can say it.
Listen. I'm not mad. Listen.
We be trying to be professional, D.Brock, but we be wilding. We having too much fun, man. When it comes from love, it's
Yeah, I love it. That's why I can't wait to come back. So
definitely, I can't wait to have you back, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll be able to get all of you guys, just to get an interview with all of you guys. That'll be really dope.
Yeah, let's see what it can do for real.
That's what's up. So listen, y'all, on behalf of Darien Brockington, the amazing D.Brock, on behalf of Mr. Alpete, the MPN Network, on behalf of the ChristinaCurates show with ChristinaCurates, on behalf of Soops Kitchen show with Soops Kitchen, on behalf of The Remedy with myself, this is the Soul Curators podcast. This has been an amazing episode. Also, make sure you stay tuned. D.Brock, this is something we started doing recently. For every episode we do a mix to accompany with it. So we're going to have all your classics and some of your new joints on a mix. So make sure y'all subscribe to the Soul Curators on SoundCloud for that D.Brock mix that's coming in a couple days, if not tomorrow. And we love y'all. Peace and love. Thank y'all for joining us. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Curators podcast, powered by the MPN Network. You can check us out on all streaming platforms where podcasts are available.